Hi, I'm Brad Wild from the Go Wild team at RE/MAX. So the May numbers are in, and this is what's going on in the Guelph Real Estate Market. This month, there are 224 sales, which is down 19% from the 276 sales that we had in May of last year. The number of sales also remained flat from April, so no real change. Now, looking at the number of active listings, we're up to 440 active listings in the Guelph market. So that's up 31% from last May, and it's also up 30% from April. So we are continuing to see inventory build. It'll be interesting to see what happens throughout the summer. For buyers, this is a great thing. It means there is a little bit more of a selection out on the market. Now, looking at the number of new listings, there were 411 new listings to hit the market in the month of May. Now that's down 14% from last May, where we had 477. But last May was a bit of an abnormal year, or abnormal month I should say, because everyone rushed to get their houses on the market right after the announcement of the foreign buyer's tax. So this was a more normal amount of new listings for us to see. Now, looking at average sale prices, we've got an average sale price in Guelph of $525,000. That's across all housing categories. So that is down 3% from last May. Now, that gap, you'll notice, is less than April, so it is starting to narrow. And it's actually up 2% from April and 4.9% from March. So we are seeing the average sale price in Guelph go up month over month, which is great. Now, diving into more detail, looking at detached homes, they had an average sale price this month of $609,000. So again, down just 1% from the 614 that we had in May of last year. But again, they are up from last month, so also going in a positive direction. Looking at attached houses with an average sale price of $441,000. Now that's up 1% from May of last year, so they already have passed last year's numbers. And same with condos. Looking at that, an average sale price of $343,000, which is up 2% from May of last year. So we're noticing that the gap in the average sale price is definitely starting to narrow. We're seeing month over month increases in all the different housing categories, which is good. So it shows that our market is building back up. Now, looking at what houses are selling for, so on average, 100% of asking, which is great. People are getting full ask for their properties on average. 38% of the houses that are selling right now are actually going above asking and going into multiple offers. And that number is up an additional 6% from last month. So again, another indicator showing that our market is starting to build up, which is great. Now, of the houses that are selling over asking, 75% of them are listed under that $600,000 price point. So just showing that that's a really active price point in our market right now. Now, if we look at months of inventory, so our supply and demand for our market, we're sitting at right now 1.96 months of inventory on the market. So that is up a little bit from April. April, we had about 1.5 months of inventory on the market. But still, anything under 5 months is considered a seller's market. So the fact that we're under 2 months of inventory puts us in a strong market. Now, when looking at months of inventory, we have to look at it in different price brackets to give us really a true picture of what's going on in the market. Anything right now under $600,000 is in a hot market. So anywhere between 1 to 2 months of inventory. So strong seller's market. Then when you go between $600,000 and $800,000, you've got 3 months of inventory on the market. So still a good market, still a seller's market, but not quite as strong as under that $600,000. Then all of a sudden when you go from $800,000 to $900,000, we shoot up to 7 months of inventory on the market. So that price point right now is pretty heavily saturated. Ideally, you don't want to be priced in that price bracket. And then interestingly enough, $900,000 to $1 million, there's only 1 month of inventory on the market for this month. So that means we had a lot of sales in that price point. Also, so if you're thinking of listing your house right now and you're thinking about listing it around that $899,000 price point, you may actually want to list it at $900,000 to get yourself out of that saturated price bracket into a bit more of an active price point. The $1 million plus market right now in Guelph has 5 months of inventory on the market, which puts it in a balanced market, which is fairly normal for that price bracket. All in all, when we look at the market, it's doing really well. We're in a much more stable market this year. We're seeing the average sale price in all categories go up, which is great. Houses are selling on average for 100% of listing or of list price, and we're seeing an increasing number of those go to multiple offers. Houses priced under $600,000 right now. It's a very active market. It's a great market if you're thinking of selling in that price point. It's a good time to take advantage of it. I think that we're going to continue to see more consumer confidence in the market. I know definitely with our listings, we've had quite a few more offers on our properties over the last 3 weeks of May and even into the first week of June than what we were seeing before. So we are definitely seeing more people jump back into the market, which is great. And I think we're going to see a stronger second half of 2018 than what we had in the first half, as that consumer confidence continues to build. If you have any questions about the Guelph real estate market, please comment below and we'd be happy to answer them for you. Thanks and have a great day.